All right, we're at Galatians 2. The sun is so bright out here, I can barely even see the camera, so hopefully this works out okay. Paul accepted by the apostles. Then after 14 years, I went up again to Jerusalem, this time with Barnabas. I'm sorry because I always say these names wrong, but I took Titus along also. I went in response to a revelation I had. Well, let's just start over. Then, after 14 years, I went up again to Jerusalem, this time with Barnabas. I took Titus along also. I went in response to a revelation and, meeting privately with those esteemed as leaders, I presented to them the gospel that I preach among the Gentiles. I wanted to be sure I was not running and had not been running my race in vain. Yet not even Titus, who was with me, was compelled to be circumcised, even though he was a Greek. This matter arose because some false believers had infiltrated our ranks to spy on the freedom we have in Christ Jesus and to make us slaves. We did not give in to them for a moment, so that the truth of the gospel might be preserved for you. As for those who were held in high esteem, whatever they were makes no difference to me. God does not show favoritism. Hold on. This is a long one, this chapter 2. They added nothing to my message. On the contrary, they recognized that I had been entrusted with the task of preaching the gospel to the uncircumcised, just as Peter had been to the uncircumcised. For God, who was at work in Peter, was an apostle to the circumcised, was also at work in me as an apostle to the Gentiles. James, Cephas, and John, who those esteemed as pillars, gave me and Barnabas the right of fellowship when they recognized the grace given to me. They agreed that we should go to the Gentiles and they to the circumcised. All they asked was that we should continue to remember the poor, the very thing I had been eager to do all along. Okay, so just to sum this up, I'm pretty sure he's talking about like the Jewish people versus the Gentile people, and the Jewish people did everything with all their laws, and then the Gentile people were like, we don't need all those laws. And then the Jewish people were like, yeah, you do need all the laws. And then so they were discussing all of that. I think that's what they're talking about here. I'm not actually sure. Paul opposes Cephas. When Cephas came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face because he stood condemned. For before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. So, okay, go on. I won't elaborate. The other Jews joined him in his hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy, even Barnabas was led astray. When I saw that they were not acting in line with the truth of the gospel, I said to Cephas in front of them all, you are a Jew, yet you live like a Gentile and not like a Jew. How is it then that you force Gentiles to follow Jewish customs? We who are Jews by birth and not we who are Jews by birth and not sinful Gentiles know that a person is not justified by the works of the law, but by faith in Jesus Christ. So we too have put our faith in Jesus Christ, that we may be justified by faith in Christ and not by the works of the law, because by the works of the law no one will be justified. But if, in seeking to be justified in Christ, we Jews find ourselves also among the sinners, doesn't that mean that Christ promotes sin? Absolutely not. If I rebuild what I destroyed, then I really would be a lawbreaker. Okay, we're almost done. For through the law I died to the law so that I might live for God. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. Okay, so again, to recap, pretty sure he's just talking about the, Christ alone, or, Jesus plus works. That it's faith alone in Christ alone, all you need, even if you're a new Christian or a Gentile, you good with God, as opposed to the Jewish people who were telling them they had to have all the laws and all the works and all the things in addition to the faith. And he's saying, no, that's not the way it is. And sometimes it's true. Like, I even get that from the longtime Christians, which I call the lifetime Christians, because they definitely have their ways of doing all the things. And it's sort of like, I even had one, I won't say who, someone said to me once, they were like, they were going to teach me we'll show you how we do church. We'll teach you, young one, about how to do church correctly. I'm like, I'm a grown woman. I know how to I know how to do church. I go to so many churches. I know how to do church, and my faith in Christ is enough. And you don't need to teach me anything about how to do church the right way. I'm not following your law because I'm not doing it like the longtime Christians do it. It's just like that. So anyway, that's it. That's Galatians chapter 2 with some probably inappropriate commentary. Have a great day. Bye.